Hello. How is everyone doing? Happy Wednesday. We're midweek. Woohoo. Almost there. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. So we're going to jump right in. So tonight we are going to talk about productivity tips, because who doesn't need some productivity tips? But before I get started, I want to do some housekeeping and announcements. So if you haven't heard, Mama's Gone Freelance now has a school. So I will be including the link for our school in the comments of this live video. And please feel free to hop on in and check it out. I have my Grow Your Business with Chatbots course live and ready to go. You can purchase it anytime. For the 6-week course that I'm going to be offering, it is going to be launching September 21st. And so you may have seen some posts about it. What it is it's a 6-week course, and it is a freelance starter guide. So it's really giving you an overview and step-by-step instructions of what you should be doing before you jump into the freelance world. So creating a business plan, how to go about that, marketing strategies, building your confidence up even, as well as identifying how to find your clients. And I walk you through all of those things over 6 weeks. And then at the end of the 6 weeks, you're invited to a secret group with the rest of the individuals that are taking the course as well. And I am there to answer questions. So if there's things you're still struggling with, I'm there for the coaching and support, as well as the other people for accountability and all of that fun stuff. So it should be a really great course. I'm working really, really hard on it. And I hope it's wonderful and amazing. If you haven't seen, I am doing a pre-launch right now. And so the reason why I'm doing that is I want to get feedback on the course. So I'm in the process right now of putting all of the content together. And so I'm inviting, originally I said I was going to invite 10 people to take part in this pre-launch. And so the pre-launch is a much lowered price. It's half of the price. It's only $20 versus the regular price is going to be $40. Not a ton of money for a 6-week course, but I want to keep it very reasonable so that mamas out there can actually, take the steps that they need to become, a freelancer and have the life that they want. So the pre-launch price is only $20, but the reason why it is lowered is because you're not getting all of the content right away. You're going to be getting the content little bits by little bits up until September 1st, when I have everything 100%. And then for those individuals that I'm asking to take part in this pre-launch, they're going to be giving me my feedback. Of, hey, I liked this, I didn't like that, this didn't make sense, redo that. And then for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be redoing things, restructuring things, making any revisions. And so then that is when I'm going to launch it by September 21st. So originally I had said only 10 people were going to be able to take part in this, because it does take a lot for the coaching part in the 6th week. But I had so many people that reached out to me about the course that it was pulling at my heartstrings. So I'm opening it up to a max of 20 people, and no more. That's it. I'm cutting the heartstrings. I'm getting tough. That's it. I'm closing the door until September 21st. So I will be including the link in of how to sign up. You are able to sign up right now. So I'll include that link in the comments of the video. So housekeeping, announcements, all out of the way. Let's jump right in and start talking about productivity. So if you are a mama like me, time is everything, and there's not that much time to get things done between trying to balance work and family and life and everything. So I wanted to share with you just some of my productivity tips that I use just to kind of make my life a little bit more simplified. And if you have any tips, I urge you to share them. Hop on in the comments and tell us what your productivity tips are, because we are a community and we are here to support each other, mamas. So I have 7 tips. Some of them are work related, some of them are life related and nutrition related, but I think everything feeds into one another. So I think life and food and work and family, it all merges. It all has an impact on each other. So my first one has to do with food and meal prepping. So I always, a pet peeve of mine is when I always go food shopping like at the end of the week, usually on like a Thursday or Friday, because I hate when the grocery stores are mobbed. So, but my pet peeve is I'm so busy with work. I'm so busy with Gracie, and it's just go, 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 go. And so when I get to Thursday or Friday, if I don't have my menu planned for the following week with my grocery list, I get so annoyed. Like, it's just my pet peeve. I'm like, ugh, like another thing that I have to do, on my list. So now I restructured things and I make my menu every Sunday and my grocery list along with it. So when I make my menu, I not only make my menu like Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, whatever it is. I not only make my menu for my dinners, but I also make a menu for lunches and snacks. And so I have one of my menus right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you can see I have snacks on there for Grace, lunch, and I find it's so much easier on my end because as she's having like a toddler 2 tantrum and she's hurling herself on the floor after we've been, running around and we're getting in from somewhere, I just find it so much easier. And I hang this right up on the refrigerator to look at it and say, okay, this is what she's having for lunch. This is what I'm having for lunch. This is what, these are the options for snacks. These are, this is what I'm making for dinner. Just simple, to the point. I don't have to remember anything. My next tip with food is a little bit of meal prepping. So I don't necessarily like to use the word meal prepping because I feel when I hear the word meal prepping, I associate it with like 3 hours of being in the kitchen straight, of just cooking and prepping. And I'm like, I don't have an extra 3 hours. Are you kidding me? What? No, this is just bulk meal planning. Bulk meal, I don't know. It's Katie's take on meal planning. Let's put it that way. So what I do is I always do this. So for breakfast, I have this awesome recipe for a crock pot oatmeal, and it's really, really healthy. It's so simple. You literally just dump everything into the crock pot and you leave it on for 5 hours on low, and then it's done. And so me and Grace have that like multiple times during the week for breakfast, and it's so simple and easy. Bam. Another thing I do for like snacks and breakfast is egg cups. So you can look up recipes. I'll also send recipes if you want me to. And it's basically like super easy. Like you either scramble the eggs in a bowl, throw in whatever, additions that you want, whether it's cheese or vegetables or whatever, and you throw them in muffin tins, stick them in the oven, done. Just grab and go. Perfect. Hard-boiled eggs, that's another one. Grab and go. I always make really, really easy snacks. So like carrot sticks, yogurt, granola, just like things that you can grab that are still healthy, but, just aren't going to take me a ton of time. The last thing that I have for food is what I love to do is when I'm making my menu for the week, I by the end of my week, by like Thursday, I'm done. Like I don't want to cook anymore. I'm exhausted between work and everything and juggling life. So I don't want to cook anymore. And I know that about myself. But we don't have the money to just be like ordering out and, living life. So what I do is when I'm making my menu, I make sure that I put meals on there that I know will last us for 2 meals so that we have leftovers. So for instance, I'll make a meatloaf and I know the meatloaf, because we don't have a big family, it's just me, Patrick, and Grace. The meatloaf will last us two dinners. Or I'll make something and I know that will last us 2 dinners. Some weeks I do 2 dinners that will also have 2 leftovers. So I'm really only cooking like 2 nights a week, maybe 3, because I'm lazy and girl, who's got time for this? So that's a tip of mine, one of my lazy tips. Now moving on from the food stuff. So when I'm planning out my week, basically I keep everything on my Google Calendar, personal, professional, everything. Everything is in one calendar. And so when I'm planning out my week when it comes to work, I basically look at my calendar and determine what I have going on personally. I determine what I have going on for my clients. And then based around that, that's when I schedule time for my business. And what I mean by my business is Mama's Gone Freelance, my courses, marketing myself, things like that. So I know that's kind of a sore point for a lot of people. It's like, well, by the time I finish work, by the time I finish with the kids, by the time I do all of these things, there's no more hours in the day. Just schedule it. Look at, okay, let's say Wednesday is, a slower day for you. Block in half an hour, block in 20 minutes, whatever it is, but just block it in and schedule it. So that's what works for me. The next thing is professional development. So you always constantly hear people saying like, you need to do your professional and personal development and this and that. And I totally 100% agree. The only way you're going to better yourself as a person and as, a freelancer or, in your specific craft is by learning more and growing. But there's only so much time during the week, right? So as you see things come up, whether it's, a webinar, a live stream someone's going to do, a free course that you want to take, whatever it is, a podcast, schedule that in. So first determine how much time you're going to spend on personal, professional development. Let's say it's 30 minutes. Okay. That's what I usually do. 30 minutes. Okay. Schedule that in. So what I do is I like to multitask. So I would love to just focus my attention on one thing, but it's just not always realistic with my schedule. So I multitask. So I get up really, really early in the morning before Gracie, and depending on the day, I either start work or I work out. And so on the days that I work out, I listen to a podcast or a webinar or whatever it is that I had on my schedule that I wanted to listen to for my professional or personal development. So that's how I do it while I'm working out. That's what I'm listening to or watching. I set up my laptop, whatever it is. And that's just how I get things done. The next, number 5. So number 5 on my list is setting timers. So I set timers with literally everything that I do with work. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I feel like for me, I just constantly have so much to do with work. I have clients, I have my own little side business, and I'm constantly trying to like multitask. And so I set timers. So I have to kind of organize my time in, okay, I'm spending this much time on this client. I'm spending this much time on that client, and I'm spending this much time, fostering my business. So let's say I am creating a new lead magnet in Canva. I will set a timer for exactly how much time I'm going to spend on creating this. And when my time goes off, I either have to be done with it or I move on to the next thing that is on my list to do. If it's not finished, then I have to come back to it at another time on another day when I have it scheduled. But if it is complete, whether it is or isn't complete, I have to move on to the next thing. I find this is really, really helpful, especially when it comes to social media, because you tend to come on to Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, and you're trying to network or you're trying to do whatever it is, and you get sucked in. Before you know it, it's like 40 minutes and you're like, I was just going to spend 10 minutes on this. And you were working. It's not that you weren't, but you just tend to get like so sucked in. Your creative juices are going and you get sidetracked a little bit. So I find timing myself just keeps myself on track and on point. The next thing, number 6, is a lot of times people ask me, okay, you are a social media manager. How do you come up with content? How do you constantly come up with new content? So I do 2 things, and those are the last 2 things on my list that I want to share with you. So whether you're a social media manager or not, or you're just trying to promote your business, I hope that these tips will help you. So one, I go through, what I usually do is I go to the Insights tab, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram Insights, whatever. And I analyze things every month to determine what was working and what wasn't. What were the posts that got the most engagement? And based off of that, I create new posts that are similar to that I know are probably going to get a lot of engagement because I did a similar post. So that's one. Number 2 is I ask for feedback. So pose questions to your audience, like, what do you think about that? What is your biggest, trouble or issue that you're encountering? What do you dislike about this? What is, the problem that you're having with that? And that's going to get a lot of engagement. And those people's answers are going to be great content for the following month. And that's what I do. I create a calendar. So I'll create a list of themes and I go through everybody's comments for my clients. And I pick out what kind of themes there are on different areas that that are relevant. And then I make a list of all of those themes, and then we start planning out content of live streams, of blog posts, of social media posts, and things like that. And I find spending the time going through and pulling out themes winds up making my life just a lot easier in the end. So those are my tips for some productivity for both work and life. I hope they were helpful. If you have any, even if you think, maybe other people are doing it, you don't know if other people are doing it. So throw in your comments and let us know what you do to kind of simplify your work life and your personal life. We'd love to hear from you, girlfriend. Trust me, I would love to hear from you because any way I can simplify my life, I'm all for it. So have a wonderful night, and make sure to check out the comments below to see Mama's Gone Freelance School and sign up for my pre-launch course. So talk to you soon. Bye.